MPW championship action like this getting us kicked off. Danny, I gotta say, I don't know what's weirder, you and I being broadcast partners or you and I being friends, but besides the point, Boa Silva, Matt Vandergriff, one half of the new MPW Tag Team Champions, getting us kicked off here.
I couldn't agree with you more, Jordan. It is a little odd to be sitting here next to you, but I do love me some tag team wrestling, and this is the best tag team wrestling you're going to see right here at MPW. Strong lockup to start things off. And Matt Vandergriff, Boa Silva.
MPW faithful hates them, some Heartless Kings. They are intent on bringing Rivers and Silva back to the light, having them see the light, having them return to the pump line that they fell in love with those many years ago.
Absolutely. We know at the anniversary show, we saw the pump line. Incredible tag team victory over their comrades, the Heartless Kings, with the Unguided, as you're seeing here. Different ball game here, Jordan.
There's the Rebel Storm and Jeremiah Fresh turning them back towards the darkness. We see Fresh in action later on tonight against J2 Mattioli, but how about that shocking return last week from Vandergriff and Damian Drake, bouncing back from Vandergriff's injury to recapture those championships that they never lost, Danny.
Absolutely shocking the MPW arena when they returned. And man, Matt Vandergriff looking like he has not missed a step. One of the best wrestlers I have ever been in the ring with, I have ever seen.
In the shape of his career, someone who, even though he's added size in recent years, has not lost any of that aerial chemist athleticism that endeared him to West Coast fans for the better part of half a decade. Nice headlock takeover.
But no slouch in the technical department. Boa Silva of the Heartless Kings. We know jiu-jitsu background. Very athletic, as you're seeing here. But Matt Vandergriff.
Headlock takeover of his own here. I'll tell you what, Danny, I hate to give the devil their due, but what Boa Silva lacks in size compared to a Vandergriff, he makes up for in speed, he makes up for in technical proficiency, but nothing much matters with a shoulder block like that.
Absolutely, and obviously the experience advantage goes to the champions, the Unguided, been tag team champions all over the world. Matt Vandergriff traveling to South Korea just a couple of months ago to wrestle.
Also a former strong survivor with New Japan Pro Wrestling here, putting those chops on good display as he nearly takes off the head of Boa Silva and makes the tag to Damian Drake with a gorgeous senton. Cover. No, you saw Drake there mocking, taunting Rivers with that pump line arm motion.
And we talked about the agility of Boa Silva, but how about the agility of the Unguided Matt Vandergriff using the ropes to spring out of that hip toss, and now a chop that I think they heard downstairs.
I think Drake hurt his own hand in the process here. And this is a signifier of great tag team wrestling, Danny. You know it better than I. Keep one man in, keep the other out, keeping each other as fresh as possible with these frequent tags.
You said it, Jordan. It's about being quick and being smart, always knowing what your partner is thinking. And the Unguided, they do that better than anybody.
Also taking full advantage of the allotted grace period for both Vandergriff and Drake to be in the ring and really having their way with Boa Silva. Rivers needs to make a tag for the Heartless Kings, and he needs to make one quick here, Danny.
You know, I will say the aggression of the Unguided is also something we need to talk about. They are just smothering young Boa Silva, but Boa, the athleticism, flipping out of that and throwing some haymakers, tag made.
Rivers now legal, looking to take the fight to the Unguided, but looking's all he's gonna do. Drops the elbow and Vandergriff into a cover, but only a two. You get the sense this crowd, the MPW faithful here in Chatsworth, they want to like the pump line, or the Heartless Kings as they're called now. They want to root for Rivers and Silva. It's just, these kids make it so damn difficult.
You know, the company you keep is a reflection of you, and the Heartless Kings joining up with Jeremiah and Rebel Storm. It's no shocker the MPW faithful.
Oh, there's a shocker, Danny.
Holy cow, want them back to be in the pump line, but man, I think Antonio Rivers just wants to get out of this corner.
Looking for a chop of his own, having very little effect, and I think it had very little to do with the t-shirt or lack thereof for Matt Vandergriff. You know, we said Rivers needed to make the tag to change the tune here for the Heartless Kings, but it hasn't had much effect. Thus far, the Unguided having just as much success with him as they were with Silva.
Absolutely, but you got to remember, Matt Vandergriff, this is only his second match back after that injury, so I thought maybe there'd be a little ring rust, but I don't think so. But look at the tag team cohesion of the Heartless Kings.
Backbreaker, springboard knee combination. The legal Silva once again hooks the leg, but only a two. And just like that, Danny, I think the tide might have turned.
And the Heartless Kings, former MPW Tag Team Champions, they were the team that won the titles after the Unguided had to vacate them. So this is a really important match for our tag team division.
It's got to stick in the crow of Vandergriff and Damian Drake, knowing that these kids held titles that they never defeated them for.
and they never defeated this team.
Rivers and Silva now back in control, taking time to taunt before dropping the elbows. Cover from Rivers. And a kick up from Vandegrift. Dare I say, Danny, that is the Achilles heel of the Heartless Kings. As a cheap shot from Damian Drake there distracts referee St. Clair and leaves the opening for this double team. They're so proficient. They are such a great tag team fundamentally, but it's this ego, it's this holier-than-thou attitude that makes it so difficult to truly root for these two.
It's very tough for me. I know the Pumpline very well. I've wrestled them all over this great state of California, but not this version. This version is not a tag team that I would respect.
Doesn't much matter about respect from the locker room or the fans. It matters about wins, and Vandegrift wants to do everything in his power to make sure they don't get one from the second, but cut off, and that is a nasty landing, Danny.
What a combination, and absolutely fluid movement, crushing Matt Vandegrift.
Cover, and in comes Drake to break it up, but Danny, that tells me the champions are getting desperate here.
Couldn't agree more. He's nervous if he's going to resort to breaking the rules. And here comes Damian Drake now. St. Clair having to admonish him.
Of course, champions advantage for the unguided, but they don't want to retain those titles on a disqualification, on a technicality. They want to decisively beat the Heartless Kings, especially, alluding to what you were saying earlier, the Heartless Kings holding those titles without ever defeating the unguided.
Absolutely, could not agree more. This is a tag team supremacy match, and double stomp by Antonio Rivers. This kid is, I'll give him the devil his due, as you said earlier. He's good.
And I think, Danny, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Rivers not trying to beat Matt Vandegrift with a cover like that, simply trying to make Vandegrift expend as much energy as possible, especially Vandegrift recently returning from injury. His gas tank nowhere near what and there's no way it can be.
Absolutely correct. But we're seeing maybe a little bit of a second wind from Matt Vandegrift, using him as stairs. Tag made, here comes Damian Drake.
Damian Drake taking the heads off of Rivers and Silva like a man reborn. Sagiri.
Incredible offense by the fallen prince, Damian Drake.
An extra chip on the shoulder of Damian Drake, right? He wasn't injured. He didn't have to miss in-ring competition. Certainly doesn't hold it against Matt Vandegrift, but even more to prove after missing months of MPW action.
Absolutely.
Well, friendly fire there to the Heartless Kings, and Damian Drake on fire himself.
Snap power slam by Damian Drake. Antonio Rivers hitting him from behind, and now the Heartless Kings got the numbers advantage once again. Going for a double clothesline, but the ropes.
Handspring stunner. Two birds, or shall I say two kings, or two pumps with one stone.
Incredible perpetual motion by one half of the tag team champions, Damian Drake. Looking for that dragon suplex. Boa Silva had it scouted.
And here comes Vandegrift, had that scouted with an enziguri of his own, and now a Hurricane Rana taking Silva. Oh, this is where the unguided gets so dangerous, Danny. Tope con Hilo, wiping out Rivers.
Incredible, popping him up into the Uranagi. That's gotta be it.
Danny, as a team, as one half of a team, I should say, that has faced the Pumpline, the Heartless Kings, call them what you will, up and down California, what do the unguided have to do to put these kids away here?
They need to hit signature maneuvers. We need to get them, but okay, Antonio Rivers, Boa Silva hitting his ankles on the beams here in the low ceiling at the MPW Arena.
Perhaps looking for a signature maneuver of their own.
You know, I think that the home field advantage of the Heartless Kings saved them there.
You're right, they're here week in and week out, regular fixtures here. The unguided have been missing for months.
Looking to go mile high, and Matt Vandegrift had it scouted. Beautiful pump kick. Turns around, Boa maybe looking for the double stop. Matt Vandegrift, superplex, rolls
and he's not done.
Going for it, maybe a buckle bump. Oh my God, Boa Silva turned it into a destroyer.
Vandegrift got a little too confident. He tried to keep the train rolling a little too long, and that may have cost them the tag team titles, but a spear says otherwise.
What are we witnessing, Jordan? Tag team excellence only here. Friday nights, Chatsworth, Millennium Pro Wrestling.
And Danny, this is just our opening contest. 5 more fantastic matches still yet to come, including that huge main event, including you yourself in tag team competition, but we got championship gold to decide.
Absolutely, 2 of the best damn tag teams on this planet, and they're going at it. Tag made, here comes Damian Drake, Boa Silva, looking to get advantage, going back to the well here, but Boa Silva had it scouted, rear naked choke.
They don't call him the Constrictor for nothing. Drake went to the well of that handspring one too many times, and it may have cost him. It may have cost the champs those titles. Codebreaker. Crossroads.
Incredible cover.
No! Danny, you know as well as I, that is a combination of moves that have won the Heartless Kings matches. It is a combination of moves that has won the Heartless Kings championships.
It's a combination of moves, Jordan, that have pinned me sitting here next to you. And now Damian Drake fighting back with everything he's got. But again, the Heartless Kings with the numbers advantage. This group knows it better than anyone, looking to shoot him off. Oh, but Matt Vandergrift made the tag. Don't know if they saw it. DDT.
Not sure if Rivers realizes it.
Forearm, Matt Vandergrift.
Vandergrift has taken great inspiration from AJ Styles. Boys, the Styles clash, and now pops Rivers up for a combination brainbuster. Leg hooked, but broken up by Silva at the last second. At this point, a war of attrition, Danny.
I don't know how any of these guys are able to hang in there. The conditioning is unbelievable. Boa Silva going for the double stomp, but Matt Vandergrift caught him, transitions to the shoulders, puts him on, but Boa able to avoid it off the back, Codebreaker!
If at first you don't succeed, try again. Vandergrift was looking for a DVD from tag partner to tag partner, but didn't get all of it. And now the Heartless Kings looking for that incredible combination once again.
They call it the Mile High, and it ends right here with the double stomp from Boa Silva. Got absolutely all of it.
We got new tag team champions. Oh! An all-timer here at our opening contest, Danny Devine.
Absolutely incredible tag team action here. Enziguri, Boa Silva stunning Damian Drake.
Yeah, Drake on spaghetti legs now, but manages to find the wherewithal to send Silva outside the ring and follow through with a tope suicida. Ugly landing right in front of us.
Just absolutely decimating our guardrails here at ringside now. Antonio Rivers maybe looking again for Cross Rivers, but Matt Vandergrift having it scouted.
Look at that, incredible athleticism. Knee to the mush. And now, that is the checkmate for the tag team champions.
What a match, what a contest, and still tag team champion.